Welcome to the Math and Doses Calculation Series, created and introduced by the Nursing and Allied Health Center of Learning Excellence Student Learning Assistance. This is the first video in which we will go over the topic of fractions along with the series contents. This series of videos will incorporate the Math and Doses Calculations content introduced in the Level 1 Math Packet for entry-level nursing students applying to the Associate's Degree in Nursing program at the South Texas College NAH Institute. Let's go over the content going to be discussed throughout this series. For our first video, we will go over important tidbits, fractions, mixed numbers, and reducing fractions. For our second video, we will go over decimals, trailing and leading zeros, and rounding. In our third video, we will go over dimensional analysis. In our fourth video, we will go over grains. In our fifth video, we will go over systems of measurements along with common medical abbreviations and administrations. In our sixth video, we will go over temperatures and measurements. In our seventh video, we will go over time. And in our eighth video, we will be reading labels, syringes, reconstitution of medications, and insulin injections. It is important that you view all the content throughout these series so that there will be a better understanding of the material so that when the time comes to take that entry math exam, you are familiar with the material and/or are aware of any questions you may have, and you can redirect those questions to the student learning assistants or instructors before the exam. For this first video, the content we will be exploring are some important tidbits that can be easily overlooked, fractions, mixed numbers, and reducing fractions. The fractions, mixed numbers, and reducing fractions are essential components to understanding the content. Let's begin with some important tidbits. For our first bit of information, know that when we write an answer, there will be no commas on amounts at or above 1,000. A comma can be misinterpreted as a decimal point if not written legibly. For our example, we have the number 1,000. The correct way to write it would be 1000, and the incorrect way would be 1,000. For our second tidbit, for tablets only, if the value is less than a whole number, always write it in fraction form. For example, the correct way would be 1 and 1/2 tablets, and the incorrect way would be 1.5 tablets. And for our last tidbit, here we have ice chips. Ice chips will be recorded as 50% of measured volume. Normally, a cup of water is 240 ml, but since these are ice chips, when the ice chips melt, they will melt down to 120 ml of water. Fractions, mixed numbers, and reducing fractions. For fractions, know that a fraction indicates a portion of a whole number. For example, we have 1/4. That's going to equal 1 part of 4 parts, or 1/4 of the whole. Here we have a pie chart that shows 4 equal parts, and we will only be using 1/4 of that whole. Mixed numbers. A whole number and a fraction are combined. The result is referred to as a mixed number. For example, we have 1 and 5/8, which equals 1 plus 5/8. For our first circle, we have the whole, and for our second one, we're using 5/8 of those 8 pieces. For reducing fractions to the lowest terms, divide both the numerator and denominator by the largest non-zero whole number that will go evenly into both the numerator and denominator. So here we have an example of 6/12. We will be reducing it to the lowest terms. The numerator is the 6 and the denominator is 12. So here we have 6 and 12. 2, 4, and 6 and 12 are the whole numbers. The largest whole number that they have in common is 6, so we will be using 6. So for 6/12, We move on and we're going to divide each one by 6. Our end result will be 1 over 2. Disclaimer. The Math and Dosage Calculation Series are a resource created to strengthen the comprehension of the concepts required for the NAH's nursing program. The supplemental materials do not guarantee a passing grade and may differ from actual test questions. Proficiency in math and dosage calculation is an integral part of safe nursing care. To assist the students in preparation for the math tests, math modules are available through the CLE or by request from the ADN department. Other ways to prepare for the test. Purchase and study the practice exercises in a medication math book. Utilize the CLE tutors. Employ practice worksheets at the CLE. Note: always follow course directives and instructors' preferences. Do not hesitate to contact instructors with additional questions or for clarification.